Okay, so we're looking at simplifying algebraic expressions. Okay. And there's some simple things that you need to know. When multiplying a positive and a negative, when multiplying a negative and a positive, there's some rules. Do you know all those rules? Have I been through all those rules with you? Yes, no, feedback. So if I was to say negative 3 times 2, what would you give me the answer as? Jess, Manus? Minus 6. Why did you say minus 6? You're right, but you're not sure. Michaela? Yeah, minus 6 is the answer. The thing being that when we are multiplying numbers, okay, when multiplying, when we're multiplying a negative number by a positive number, the answer comes out to be a negative number. When we're multiplying 3 times negative 2, the answer is still negative 6, because when we've got a positive and we're multiplying by a negative, the answer is a negative. So what I'm trying to explain to you here is, when our signs are different, the answer is negative. When the signs are the same, if you're multiplying a negative by a negative, the answer is a positive. And if we're multiplying a positive by a positive, we've done that since we were very little, the answer is a positive. Now those rules there under multiplication also operate under division. Okay? So they're division as well. So I suggest in your glossary in a while, you copy that down. They're rules that are going to be helpful for you. Alright? So we'll take an example where we've got negative 2ab, times by, no it's not, sorry, negative 2a. So I'm looking at the example on page 79. 2a, negative 2a times 3ab. Okay? And until you get used to it, the first thing to go through will be to say, what have you got there? And try and split up the numbers first from the pronumerals or from the letters. Okay? So what you've got is them taken care of by me doing what I've done so far. Negative 2 times 3. Yeah. And what we've got left is a times a. And then what have we got in here? Times b. Times a, times a, times b. And we've got that so far. Is that okay? Are you okay with that so far? So what we're doing is we're expanding it out first, and then we're going to simplify it. So we're going to broaden it out, and then we're going to simplify it. So negative 2 times 3, you go to these rules. You've got a negative and a positive. Do the signs first. That's what I encourage you to do. Do the signs first. A negative and a positive, your answer must come out as a negative. It must come out as a negative. 2 times 3, 6. You've taken care of the sign already. I suggest you do that first and then do the numbers. 2 times 3, so we've done that, we've done that, we've done that. What do you know about what we could simplify that to be? A times A. Ellen, what could that be? A to the power of 2. You're spot on. Remember in the previous terms, we've said if we're squaring a number, it is that base number multiplied by itself. 4 times 4. We did 6 squared, it's 6 times 6. Okay? If we're doing A squared, it's A times A. Yeah? So A squared takes out that, and it just leaves us with our B. We don't put in the multiplication sign. By putting nothing there, we know that it's multiplication. Okay? And so simplified, what we've done, we broadened it out first, and then we brought it back in. So we broadened it, or extended it, and then simplified it. Is there any questions with that at this stage, or how I got to negative 6a squared b? That's okay, that's alright. Can I explain it better? No? No, that's alright. Let's look at a division one, for example. 6ab divided by 18b. Okay. Again, we expand it out. Okay. So we can expand that out to say, can we simplify 6 over 18? Can we simplify that? 6 over 18. What can we simplify that to, Jaden? 3. 3? I wouldn't say 3. Jess? Good stuff. How many 6's go into 6? 1. How many 6's go into 3? 6's go into 18. 3. So we've gone there, we've simplified that, and we've simplified that, yeah? Okay. B divided by B. What do you reckon B divided by B is? Any number divided by itself must be 1, mustn't it? Again over here, 6 divided by 6 is 1. 8 divided by 8 is 1. B divided by B is 1. Okay. Leaves us with that, doesn't it? Pretty much. Are you happy with that? A can't be simplified, so A's got to stay there. A's staying on the top line. Alright. 1, anything multiplied by 1 is the same, so we can essentially get rid of that, can't we? See how it's bringing all your rules together, or all your ideas together? What you're left with is 1 times A divided by 3. Okay? What's 1 times anything? Jared? Anything is. Whatever the anything is. So what we can do is we can further simplify that to say that's just what it looks like. A over 3. Okay? So it's bringing all the things you've learned back in together and simplifying them to make them easier. A over 3 is easier to understand than 6ab divided by 18b. Okay? And again, you've been doing this stuff ever since you're in year 7 or year 6 or year 5 when you do the area of a rectangle. You know the whole area of a rectangle formula? L times W, length times width. They were unknowns, and then you were told that if that's 4 and that's 2, you just replace 4 with 4 and 2. So you've been doing this stuff for a long time. Don't stress out that it's something different. It's not different to what you've been doing. Let's try 3 times 2b. What would be the first thing you'd do, Toby? 3 times 2b, look at the board.
The numbers.
You do the numbers first. Excellent. 3 times 2, positive and a positive is a positive. And then b can't be multiplied by anything, so it's there. Okay? Can I go through any more for anybody? Or that's okay? And then you're going through step by step in a slow, measured way, and you're building up to more complex questions. All right? So for red, what you should have been able to spend some time on is your addition, subtraction sort of stuff. Okay? Now, you might, hopefully, you've found that, just really, really simple. Basically, your 3-digit type stuff would be something that we would have hoped you could have done, alright? But doing it in the process rather than just doing it on the calculator, alright? And so where you're going from that is often, I'll write it in the terms of a thermometer to start with. Often you would have come across and you work with just positive numbers. Okay, so if naught's there, it's 1 degree or 2 degree, that's really cold, and so we go. And we can sort of understand positive numbers pretty easy, okay? But where your learning is going is venturing into negative numbers, okay? And when we talk about it in terms of a thermometer, we can feel -5 and we can feel -10, goes from real cold to damn cold. To death cold. But But what we can't really conceptualise is negative numbers as a whole. So what I would like you to do over the weekend is to create a number line in the back of your book and do it over 2 pages. Okay, so do it over a complete spread of your book, and you've all got graph paper. And what I'd like you to do, because you've got 5mm graphs, can you do it every 2 squares? I want you to go -1 that side, 1 that side, 2 that side, 3. As high as you can go in the positive and as low as you can go in the negative, because that number line will come in really handy for you. Now, Chris, I know you've got that ruler, but this will be useful for you. You won't always have that ruler. What this will allow you to do is, if we're saying what is 4 take 6, okay, if I said 4 take 2, every single one of you would be able to understand 4 take 2 leaves me with 2. But when I say 4 take 6, that can be hard to sort of see. You know what I'm saying? So what your number line will be useful for, if you do it in pen, do it in pencil first and then go over in pen, is you're starting at the number 4 and you're moving 6 places, but you're moving that way. Because if I said 4 take 2, you'd go to here, wouldn't you? Anytime you take, you're going this way. Anytime you add on a number line, you're going that way. If I said 2 plus 2, you'd be going that way. Does that make sense? Yep. So 4 take 6, you're starting there and you're moving 6 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wherever you land, 4 takes 6 is -2. And so the number line in the early stages will get you to understand negative numbers and how they sort of look, because they're hard to see because we don't really use them very often. Alright? So homework, and this will be online, so if you don't know, make sure you check online. Number line in pen, okay, at the back of your book, plus 25 minutes of class learning. And I'm coming around to your books now.